PSA responded, and it was much quicker than I thought it would be. Last week, I made a video about some suspicious damage on about 11 of the 84 cards that I got back in my recent PSA submission, and a lot of you guys seem to be experiencing the exact same damage in that upper right-hand corner on the back. And a lot of you guys were asking me to keep you updated on exactly what was happening, what PSA was saying, what their response was going to be, and what I was going to do in this particular situation. Don't worry, this isn't going to be like a 17-part series on my channel. It's just going to be this update and then hopefully the resolution update whenever that happens in the future. I am definitely not a drama channel. I'm still subbing with PSA and CGC and all the grading companies. This hasn't deterred me from continuing to grade cards with them. I just think it's important for you guys to know what the process is if you guys run into this and need to submit your cards back to them for a review. So in this video, I'm going to go through my emails back and forth with them, what they recommended I do, and then the steps that kind of led me to the decision to send the cards back to them, because I wasn't quite sure it was going to be worth it at the start. So my first email to them was just to the customer service team, basically providing the proof, the photos that I showed you guys in the last video, the before and after photos, including which card corresponded to the photos, and just letting them know, like, hey, I think there is some damage that occurred during grading of about 12 of my cards, 6 of which I have photographic proof for, and I need to know what's going to happen next. I also requested that they provide me with the first scans, because if I could see the damage in the first scans, the scans that they do when they receive the cards in, then I could know or would know that something in the shipping process is what damaged the cards, not them. So I requested the first scans in my first email. I didn't get those until quite a bit later. The response was a very automated response, but it was basically to go to the customer request center, where they have, essentially, you can create a quality assurance request. And what that asks for is the order number, the certification number, the description, so what you think happened, like where the damage is, what you think occurred, and then the original declared value. All of that information you can find from your submission documents when you first submitted the cards, but it's a little cumbersome. You have to do them one by one. I just did them for the 6 that I had photographic proof of. I didn't do them for the full 11 or 12 that I feel like were damaged in the process. So after I sent all that information in, I got an email basically saying that I was approved to send the cards back to PSA for them to review. Now, this was a little weird to me, because they have first scans, which is what the cards looked like before they were graded, and then they have the graded scans, which are what the cards look like after they were graded. So I'm not 100% sure why they need the cards back to do some sort of internal review of them. That just seems kind of cumbersome when they have evidence on both sides. So to me, my thought process was, this might take a while. I'm not sure if it would take a month, 2 months, like a normal submission time, or if it's going to take a little faster because it's a customer request thing. I don't know. It could take forever for all I know. So I'm tying up the cost of those cards, since the cards are going to be sold. I'm tying up the cost of those cards for however long it's going to take them to do their internal review, because I have to send the cards back to them. So to me, I was trying to weigh whether or not it was even worth sending the cards back, because I hadn't seen the first scans yet. So I wasn't 100% clear that PSA damaged the cards. They still could have been damaged in shipping in my eyes, and I didn't want to send them out and then be wrong and then lose all of that time when I could have, turned those cards and then bought some more cards and done, my normal process of things. So I did ask why they would need the cards back to be reviewed. I let them know, like, hey, you have evidence of before and after. I don't understand why you need to see the cards again. That seems odd, because you have the scans. They just said, PSA requires all items to come back as part of the assessment. Please keep in mind, not all of our departments have visibility to customer interactions like the conversation between you and I, which is why we need your items to come in physically for further assessment. So apparently they can't forward emails to different departments within the same building, or they can't print out some scans and walk them down to the other office. I'm not really sure why, like, the quality assurance review people wouldn't have access to my conversation requesting a quality assurance review, but apparently they need the cards back because multiple teams don't have access to this particular back and forth interaction. It seemed like a really stupid reason, but it is what it is. So then after that, I asked if I can see the first scans. So can I be sent the first scans of the items in question? to me, that seemed reasonable. I would like to at least know that the damage wasn't there when they got it before I send them in and waste a bunch of time doing so. And they actually sent me the first scans back. And this was when I realized that I absolutely needed to send the cards back. I was very iffy. I was honestly leaning on not sending them back and just moving on. But after seeing the first scans, I was like, yep, I definitely need to send these back. If you guys don't remember, the damage is on the back of the card on the top right corner. So we're going to take a look at these first scans. You tell me if you can find any damage on the back of the card in the top right corner. There's the Sceptile's top right corner. Looks pretty damn clean to me. And obviously you'll see all these scratches and things. That's because they scan these in a penny sleeve. So a lot of the times if you look at your first scans and you're like, oh my God, that thing is so scratched up. Don't worry, it's the penny sleeve because they don't actually take the cards out of the penny sleeve. First corner looks really clean. We've got the Umbreon. This is the one that was pretty jacked up and had the pube in the slab. Look at that top right corner. Pretty damn clean to me. Let's go to the next one. Arcanine. Arcanine was the most messed up corner. Kind of more difficult, slightly obscured to tell, but if you see through all the scratches from the penny sleeve, it looks pretty damn clean. And then the Ampharos, really damn clean. The Politoed, super clean. Like, this was just obviously, and the Lugia, super clean. So that just made it super obvious to me that I needed to send these cards in just to follow through with the process. It's very obvious that something happened in the grading process. I don't really understand why they need the cards back, but I am going to be sending the cards back to PSA for them to do some sort of internal review of them, and hopefully I will get some sort of compensation. I'm not quite sure what that will be yet, if it will be the entire expected value of the card, or if it will be a percentage of the expected value, or if it will be the grading feedback, or I guess whatever at this point. You don't have to pay for the label. They send you a label for FedEx. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for return shipping back. So there's no cost to me to send these out apart from time. So hopefully whatever they end up giving me back, hopefully, fingers crossed, they actually do give me something back. Hopefully the amount that they refund me from this process will be enough to cover the time it takes to do this, and hopefully it doesn't take 2 months to do this.